I don't think there's anything more crucial in this hour than to connect Christian leaders to biblical literacy, and where better for the Bible to come alive than in the land of the Bible. When we walk here and we meet Jesus, the Jew, in his context, all of a sudden we understand the covenantal continuity of God from Abraham to Isaiah to David to Jesus to Paul to the nations of the earth. Connecting believing Christians to Israel is paramount to strengthening, defining, and expanding our faith.
The experience makes an impact.
It's been really amazing because reading the Bible most of my life and then actually seeing the place where everything happened and walking in the same places that Jesus went, it makes everything so much more real.
It's amazing. I think that it's wild to see the biblical narrative just come to life. And I think one of the biggest things that just caught my attention is after close to 2,000 years, the Jews being gone and how God's faithfulness brought them back. As a South African, seeing New South Africa and what God has done in our country, I just felt like this experience here gave me so much hope.
I think it's important. You know, it's such a key, controversial topic across the nations. And so for us to get on the ground, listen to the different stories, all the different perspectives is so wonderful.
For so many pastors and leaders, going to the Holy Land is a bucket list item that too many times they don't fulfill till they're in their 60s or their 70s towards the end of their ministry. When we're able to identify young leaders who are on an upward trajectory of their ministry and bring them into alignment with what God is doing in this land, the modern day miracle of the people and land of Israel, that takes that experience and allows it to expand in their own sphere of influence. 68% of the leaders we have brought to the land of Israel for the first time have brought back a group from their church within 12 months. So we're exponentially increasing connection to the land by investing in the lives of young leaders.
Stearns believes a first-hand experience allows visitors to see beyond bias and hopeless headlines.
I think the impact is that the mainstream media loves to blow things out of proportion and create false narratives. When people come to the land and they see the incredible peaceful coexistence that's happening on the ground between Jews and Christians and Muslims and Arabs and Druze, and the complexity of the land here, and yet the great harmony that we see most of the time, day by day, you begin to deconstruct the fake news, you begin to deconstruct the false narrative, and there's a lot of hope that comes, right? The national anthem of Israel, Hatikva, there's a lot of hope that begins to come, that praying for the peace of Jerusalem is not just a metaphorical ideal, but it's a reality if we will add our strength and our work toward that prayer.
Another of Stearns' efforts complements his ministry of bringing global leaders to Israel.
I want to continue to invite the nations of the earth to set aside the first Sunday of every October as the global day of prayer for the peace of Jerusalem. The body of Christ worldwide just lost our patriarch, Pastor Jack Hayford, who was my co-chairman in this. He was with me, with Pat Robertson, when we launched this in 2004 in the Rose Garden of the Knesset. And by God's grace, it is spread now to 172 nations. Our materials in 29 languages around the world. So I invite the global body of Christ to set aside the first Sunday of every October to fulfill our biblical mandate to pray for the peace of Jerusalem. When there's peace in Jerusalem, there will be peace on planet Earth, and we will see the return of Messiah.
Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.